Morning. Thank you guys for being here. Looking back upon Friday night's game, much like I said in the post-game press conference, too many critical self-inflicted wounds by the offense. Defensively, we didn't execute well enough in the first half. The guys showed resiliency by the way they battled, but we continue to be all in and we learn from the tape and are going to continue to find ways to improve moving forward. Our focus completely turned to East Carolina, a team that's playing very well at a very high level on the road this Saturday for an exciting matchup, and we're ready for the next opportunity.
Do you have any update on Brendan?
Do not. It's going to be kind of like it's been all season, just kind of see where he's at. And obviously, with no practices until tomorrow, we'll get a feel to see where he's at. He's been tough. He's battling through it. But again, we got to decide if it's in his best interest, one, if he's healthy enough to go, and two, if it's in the best interest of the team for him to step foot on forward.
What are the talks with him in terms of keeping up his spirits? I mean, he's obviously tried to gut through what he's dealing with, but this is the second time where he had to get forward in a close game. Just how are you monitoring where he is emotionally?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. One, it's the quarterback position, which we all know that that relationship with the quarterback and the head coach is huge and its importance. But we talk all the time and just making sure, one, that he's healthy from a physical standpoint, and then two, the mental health aspect of it. Like, hey, how are you doing? He's such a competitor. Sometimes I'm like, hey, you sure you're good? Because he wants to be the tough guy, and he is that, but I also got to check in to make sure. But he loves, he's the first one that just talks about how much he loves this culture, how much he loves it here. Winning, in essence, having winning football and being a part of this, it's new to him, and he loves it. And so he's going to do everything in his power to be part of this. And he's staying positive, just like I told every single person, right? We have full control of our attitude and our approach every single day. And I met with the staff this morning. I said, there's no mopey faces. We can be mad all we want, but our attitude's got to be great. And our players need to see our sense of passion, how much we love football. And Lou no different. Like, if you're in physical pain, we completely understand. But from a mental aspect, look, if you're able to go forward, great. Now it's a positive attitude, a positive approach, and give it all you have in our prep and go attack this thing one day at a time.
How did you assess when you look back on Arrington's performance, and also is it going to be the same Arrington and AJ kind of battling throughout practice to see how it goes?
Yeah, Jonah. I thought Arrington, again, credit to the guy. I think it's hard to go in the game and do what you did, but I was pleased. I gave him a hard time about not, he had 20-yard full head of Steven, couldn't get in the end zone. We gave him a hard time. He got whacked pretty good, but he's a tough character too. But I've been pleased. I thought, he did a nice job. None of us really know, right? Like what it's like to just, hey, go play the game. And he did a great job. Obviously, his first career touchdown, he did a nice job getting in there on the quarterback counter. And then when he went in for full time, he did an excellent job. So I was quite proud of him and pleased. How we view those and talking with AJ and Arrington, it's the situations that we're in the game. Also in the week of prep, what the game plan may call for, what the defense is giving us, and we continue to assess that along with Coach Cramsey and kind of get a feel for where we need to be with that.
When you look at this situation, a lot of the road games you've played this season haven't been the most atmospheric, I guess is how I would put it. Are you expecting more? Obviously you played ECU before with their stadium, and are you going to do anything in practice like noise?
Yeah, Northwestern grads, atmospheric, a real word? The school journalism may call you out. Yeah, we'll check rhetoric. I'm going back to the phone to Google that one. Yeah, look, it's a great place to play. In credit to East Carolina, their fans show up. They're loud. They have a fantastic student section. Much like we had a great home field advantage, our fans were awesome this past Friday night, and I appreciated their support, and they stood throughout and made a difference in that game. East Carolina has a great place, and I'm not going to sit there and toot their horn, but they have a nice home field advantage as well, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. We're excited about that. I've talked about it. Like, I like as many games as we can play at home, but going on the road and there's an atmosphere, it's great. So we'll play the music. We got to have it turned up during practice. We've talked to people that have played there already this season. Like, man, it's rocking, and we've been there before. There's going to be some of those challenges because this may be one of the few on the road this year that's going to be, truly we'll have to deal with the noise.
Against Tulane, that obviously was not the first game you played where there's been a drastic turnaround after the second half. Is there anything you can take from maybe what changes after halftime and apply that to your weekly preparation so that you don't get off of this slow start?
Yeah, I wish there was a magic formula that sat there and said, hey, the rah-rah speech at halftime, maybe I need to give that, No, it's not. I think a lot of it is just the guys having the confidence to go trust what they're seeing and what they've prepped for, and putting it all out there on display. We're also seeing unique things. I've shared this in other press conferences. Teams are giving us things that sometimes we haven't seen on film. You know, I mean, we got 3 different punt formations that we had never seen all season from Tulane, and sit there and you can say, well, Ryan, you should prepare for all that stuff. And that's great, you know, I mean, but that's near impossible. We can't chase ghosts. We don't want to put our guys in unfortunate situations just by saying this may happen, this may happen. And we prepare them for situational football. We're seeing unique offensive plays that we had not seen. And it's our job to put our guys, and my job as the head coach, to make sure our guys understand that there's going to be things that occur during a game that we have never seen, and we have got to be able to react a little bit better. I think sometimes it's, okay, maybe we've seen the full bag of tricks already in the first half, and they've thrown their best shot at us. Again, no different. Like Tulane had shown to be an 8% blitz team, you know, and they come out and blitz us 80% of the time. You know, well, why didn't you prepare for the blitz? Well, we did, but not to the extent. So how do we continue to get those where we can strike faster and play more efficient? That's my job and the task moving forward. So hopefully a great week of prep like we know, and continue to study the film to the best of our ability and put our guys in the best situations.
You've been one of the best teams in the country, non-penalized. But these false starts, it's like, what? I mean, pull your hair.
Oh.
Have you considered, like, oh, let's just go up and just snap the ball? Let's just go up and get
Yeah.
it.
Jarvis, you're exactly right. I mean, I take a lot of pride in my 6 years as the head coach. We've truly been, you know, if you average it out over the years, we're one of the least penalized teams in all of college football, you know, over that 6-year span. And I take pride in that because that means you got a disciplined team. But this year, the false starts are just not like us, for lack of a better phrase, Jarvis. And we practice it. We're yelling. I mean, I'm yelling. We're yelling in meetings. We're trying to do different things. Move, shifts. You know, they designated in the off season that a defense can yell move or shift. Those words are designated for the defense. You know, we've seen some teams have gotten delay of games because of the barking and the movement. And people, you know, throughout our conference have said some teams are more egregious than others. No excuses, no explanations. We've got to find a way. Some teams that play tempo, they don't have to deal with it, right? Because the team won't have the ability to shift. But you know, we're showing the ability to be relatively efficient at offense, obviously, with minus those self-inflicted wounds. So if that's what we have to do, then maybe we do mix in some tempo to prevent some of this shifting. We've done that in the past, even though we're not necessarily a tempo offense.
Obviously, hindsight is 20/20, but when you look at how Brendan the last couple of weeks, when you go back to the end of the game against Rice and then last game, is there anything that you would differently in terms of when he's in the game and when he's not in the game?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's there's no perfect time to pull the quarterback, right? Like, is a 21-point lead enough? I mean, someone told me what happened with the Jaguars yesterday. Like, you know, we've been a part of seeing these comebacks, right? No different. And Tulane thought they had a good lead runs, but they pulled their quarterback, and then we come back and win. And then they'd sit there and say, why would you do that? So, you know, it's finding that fine balance of when you get guys. And, again, continue to talk to Lou about taking care of his body and being smart, especially in a significant lead. Yeah, there's a lot of things throughout college football in my career. I'd say, like in a game, like I wish called this play instead of that one. I wish I'd asked for the ball in the right hash. I wish, you know, maybe I'd pulled Lou out 2 plays prior, but I also didn't think he would, you know. So, you know, we're not going to play that game, and unfortunately, you know, he's been banged up. So this has been going on for quite a while throughout the whole season, and hopefully, you know, every week he's getting a little bit better and better.
Coach, you talked about with making adjustments where teams kind of surprise you. You know, you prepare, but then they do different things. But looking ahead to East Carolina, they're really, really good on third down, both offensively and defensively. How much can you prepare for that, or is it just a matter of we have to execute and be locked in?
Yeah, that's great, and I appreciate you doing your homework on that. Yeah, they're top 20 in the country. I looked at the stat. I was like, was it a typo? But third and for both offense and defense on third downs. You know, they're obviously one of the top defenses. Everybody talks about their offense being so prolific and how good their quarterback is and the tempo. They're the fastest tempo team in our conference. And then, oh, by the way, they're averaging also like giving up 17 points a game, so they're playing really well on defense. But with all those things, right, like we'll practice a ton of third down throughout this week. You know, our main situational day is Wednesday, and then during our walkthroughs we do a ton of that stuff, working on that and then leading up to it. But right, third down's a massive, massive part of success in college football. And so, yeah, we'll practice it and trying to find ways to better execute it, right? Do we need to have a better third down plan on offense, seeing what the ways they're going to attack us? And then also defensively, like, what are they doing? Do teams sometimes change what they do on third down? Absolutely. And we're going to go into this expecting the unexpected. So when we're talking next Monday, you'll be like, hey, did you ever see that? No, I never saw it, but at least we knew it was probably something different was coming. So just like with all it, whether it's a 2-minute situation, red zone, our job as coaches to prepare our guys to the best of their ability.
They were penalized a lot earlier in the season. It seemed like they were shooting themselves in the foot. What did they do to, like, stop being penalized because they take themselves out of situations?
Who's that?
East Carolina.
I think a lot of it is as with the way these transfers work, a lot and new rosters and trying to figure these things out. I think a lot is the more you get to play together, the better understanding, right? Some of these guys that we're even coaching right now, we've had for just a few months. But, credit to them. They've done a better job of not getting themselves penalized. And part of that is, I always say, the pre-snap penalties are focus, right? Post-snap foolishness ones are discipline. And then, the holding calls here or there, sometimes you can sit there and say, hey, you've got to be better with the execution where we get our feet. Defensive pass interference, no different, right? Were my eyes in the right spot? Did I get turned around? Did it make sense at that time to hold? But they've done a good job of improving upon that. And, for us, in order for us to have success, we've got to eliminate the false start penalties, which are inexcusable.
How do you address finding that consistency defensively that you guys had at the beginning of the year? Even against Tulane, the second half was great, but the first half was what it was.
Absolutely. The explosives absolutely killed us. And so I think, how do we go back into saying, okay, let's go play clean football, right? You're going to give up plays. You're going to give up some yards. But the amount of explosives that are occurring are inexcusable because the tackling has actually, I think, been pretty decent. But it's, hey, how did that guy, first play of the game, get that wide open? And regardless of whether it's the scheme, execution, all those things, I think it goes hand in hand. I think, we got to continue to evaluate that. And we talk and say, okay, as a defensive staff, what do we need to do to put our guys in better position? Is it a play call? Or is it a personnel decision? Or is it, hey, maybe a technique? And I think every situation it relies on different merits. And I think we got to continue to look at that and say, okay, why did this play give it up because the guy tripped on a shoelace? Did this play occur because we had a bad play call? Did this play occur because the guy had bad eyes and play action? Did this play occur because of a missed tackle? So continue to study that and trying to find the culmination of answers so we can go play back to Waco. We're used to playing consistent football.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.